is Hall effect actually? What are the questions that will be asked in Hall effect actually? Right. Let us see. The effect which is caused in the Hall is called as a Hall effect. And this is you take a semiconductor or a metal. The first most important point is take a metal or semiconductor which is carried by current I. Take a metal or semiconductor where current is carried by I. Take this metal or semiconductor and keep it in a room. Keep it in a room which is possessed by magnetic field. So that means here x-axis this specimen is carried by current I, and here in that room we are keeping this specimen which is contained by magnetic field intensity B. If you keep this specimen which is carried by current I and in that room which is contained by magnetic field intensity B, immediately electric field intensity is generated opposite to or perpendicular to magnetic field intensity and current I. So here electric field intensity is generated which is E. This is called electric field intensity. Now you can see here, this is the figure. X-axis is this one, which is current is carried by x-axis. Z-axis is magnetic field intensity B, and y-axis is electric field direction, which is electric field intensity E. So this effect is called as a Hall effect. I'll repeat the definition. See, a specimen which is a metal or a semiconductor which carries a current I is placed in a room which is contained by magnetic field intensity, or is placed in a room which is contained by magnetic field intensity, then immediately electric field intensity is produced which is perpendicular to both magnetic field intensity and current carrying I. So therefore the simple definition is x-axis is I am taking current, z-axis I am taking a magnetic field intensity B, and this y-axis I am taking electric field intensity E. So perpendicularly we can observe electric field intensity generated perpendicular to magnetic field intensity B and current carrying conductor I. Right? Now for example, this, if this is of n-type semiconductor, this specimen is of n-type semiconductor, what happens is electrons that are moving from this point to this point, from this point to this point, if electrons are moving, what happens is they will repel because of this charge which is present here. This is a 2, phase 1 and phase 2, and due to this n-type semiconductor, all electrons will be repelled and the phase 1 is said to be negatively charged particle. If phase 1 is negatively charged particle, then the type of semiconductor is n-type semiconductor. Right? N-type semiconductor. So we can also define this one as a p-type semiconductor, because if it is p-type semiconductor, what happens? Phase 1 is repelled by the holes, so therefore it is a p-type semiconductor. If it is p-type semiconductor here, then all holes will be repelled like this. Electrons will be attracted towards phase 2, and phase 1 is completely a positively charged particle. If it is a positively charged particle, then it is said to be p-type semiconductor. So using this Hall effect, we can able to find whether the device is a p-type semiconductor or n-type semiconductor, or n-type semiconductor. Right? Now, see this specimen, it is having a width W, and this is a phase 1 upper phase 2, and this is phase down 1 phase, and the distance between this phase and this phase is nothing but D. D is called distance, W is called width. And x-axis we are taking current, and z-axis we are taking magnetic field intensity B, and y-axis we are taking electric field direction E, or electric field intensity E. Right? Now, the force exerted at equilibrium position or at room temperature. What is at room temperature? At room temperature, certain parameters we need to learn here. At room temperature, the force exerted by electric field intensity is given by F is equal to E into capital E. F is equal to E into capital E. Similarly, the force exerted by magnetic field intensity, this is due to electric field intensity. This is due to electric field intensity. Similarly, the force exerted by magnetic field intensity. What is the force exerted by Magnetic field intensity. Magnetic field intensity is B. The force exerted by magnetic field intensity, because both are present here in this room. So what is the force exerted by magnetic field intensity? It is equal to B into E into V, where B is called magnetic field intensity, E is the charge, V is drift speed. And this force due to electric field intensity is E is the charge, capital E is electric field intensity. Now at equilibrium position or at room temperature, what happens is force exerted by electric field intensity is equal to force exerted by magnetic field intensity. That means F suffix capital E is equal to F suffix capital B. This is called F suffix capital E and this is called F suffix capital B. So you equate these two equations. What do you get? E into capital E is equal to B into E into V, where V is called drift speed. In drift current we have studied, this is V is called drift speed. E is charge. E is charge. Very, very important formulas, no? Please be careful. E gets cancelled because we are equating at equilibrium. Therefore, what do you get? Capital E is equal to B into V, where V is called drift speed. Right. Now, what is E electric field intensity? I told you already, in electric field intensity, in drift current calculation, what is electric field intensity actually? Electric field intensity units are what actually? Electric field intensity E is nothing but volt per meter, isn't it? It is equal to volt per meter. What is volt? Here, voltage. Volt means what? Voltage. Voltage divided by meter means distance. Meter means distance. So E is equal to, what happens is, you can see here, if all the charge carriers in this specimen are coming towards here, then they will form a voltage. A voltage is generated here while the charge carrier is moving from this point to this point. That voltage I am naming it as Hall voltage, because that voltage is existing in the Hall. So therefore, that voltage I can name it as Hall voltage. Hall voltage, which is given by VH. That is called Hall voltage. So here capital E is equal to, I can write this one as VH divided by meter. Meter means distance. Distance is D. It is traveling a distance D and Hall voltage is created. So this is the formula for electric field intensity. E is equal to VH divided by D. So substitute this E is equal to VH divided by D here. You get VH divided by D, that is equal to BV. So from this, what is VH? Hall voltage. Hall voltage is equal to BVD. Hall voltage VH is equal to BVD. This is one of the formula, important formula. Hall voltage is equal to BVD, isn't it? Is it clear, all of you? Please follow this carefully. Hall effect. We have already learned in EDC. Just we are revising it. All the equations. What is the definition of Hall effect? And what is the force exerted by electric field intensity? Force exerted by magnetic field intensity at equilibrium, both are equal. So you get different formulas from this. So we got VH is equal to BVD. Okay. See, what is the formula we have quoted? VH, Hall voltage VH is equal to B drift speed V D. This is the first equation we have quoted. Hello?
Hello?
Is there any problem? Huh?
Request.
Huh?
Request, sir. Request,
Huh?
accept.
Huh?
Request, accept, sir. Request, sir. Request.
Okay. VH is equal to B into V into D ma. That is called Hall voltage, right? Now, in this specimen, current is existing in the specimen in Hall. So current is existing means current density also exists. So what is current density? Current density is always given by what? J. Current density is always given by J. J is equal to, what is the formula we have studied in drift current calculation? J is equal to, what is the general formula? J is equal to, I told you this is rho into V, isn't it? What is rho? Rho is equal to, this is PE for P-type semiconductor, PE for P-type semiconductor, and rho is equal to Ne for N-type semiconductor. Ne for N-type semiconductor, right? So this is called charge density. This rho is called charge density. This rho is called charge density, right? Rho is equal to PE for P-type semiconductor, rho is equal to Ne for N-type semiconductor, and it's called as charge density. So current density is given by J is equal to rho into V, where V is called drift speed. What is V? V also can be written as mu into E, isn't it? V also can be written as mu into E, mobility into electric field intensity E, right? Next, so what happens? See, what is current density J? What is current density J? How can I write current density? What are the units for current density actually? Current density units are amperes per meter square. What is amperes? Amperes means current. Current units are amperes. So I can write this one as I. I divided by meter square, I can write this one as meter into meter. That is equal to I divided by, I can write meters as W. Width is measured in meters. And what is the other meter? It is written as D, distance. Distance. So finally I can write J is equal to I divided by W into D. W into D. J is equal to I divided by W into D. So therefore here I can write this one as I divided by W into D, that is equal to rho into V. Rho into V. Now what is V from this? V is written as, drift speed is written as I divided by rho W into D. This is called drift speed. Drift speed. V equal to I divided by rho into W into D. Now here, this one is the first equation is telling you about Hall voltage here. Now we have a coefficient, Hall coefficient. That Hall coefficient is given by, RH. That is equal to 1 by rho. Hall coefficient RH is given by, that is equal to 1 by rho. So therefore, from this equation, you substitute this 1 by rho into this equation. What you get? You get V is equal to I divided by W into D. What is 1 by rho? 1 by rho is equal to RH. So from this, what is Hall coefficient RH is equal to? Hall coefficient RH is equal to, what is the value? Hall coefficient RH is equal to, we can write like this. How can we write? RH is equal to V into, isn't it? V into W into D divided by I. This is one of the formula. This is one of the formula. VH is equal to, RH is equal to V into drift speed into W into D divided by I. Divided by I. Or you substitute this equation into equation 1. Substitute this V into equation 1. What do you get in terms of voltage? You get Hall voltage. VH is equal to, actually what is equation 1? What is equation 1? VH is equal to BVD. So VH is equal to V. What is V? V is equal to I into RH divided by WD into D. DD gets cancelled. DD gets cancelled. So VH is equal to BI RH divided by W, or What is the other formula? VH is also equal to BI divided by rho W. These are the two formulas. Instead of RH, I'm writing 1 by rho, or 1 by rho is equal to RH. 1 by rho is equal to RH. Again, from this we have another equation. From this we have another equation. What is RH is equal to? RH is equal to Hall coefficient RH is equal to VH into W divided by VA. In terms of RH and VH. RH is called Hall coefficient, VH is called Hall voltage. RH is equal to VHW divided by VA. So we can find here the relation between Hall coefficient and Hall voltage. Right. Conductivity here. What is conductivity? Using Hall effect we can find conductivity. So what is conductivity is given by sigma. What is the formula for conductivity? In current density we have noted as J is equal to Ne mu E. Right. So in the previous classes, J is equal to what? Sigma into E. What is sigma? Conductivity. So what is sigma is equal to Ne mu. Ne mu is the conductivity. But what is Ne? Ne can be written as rho, charge density. Rho into mu. Right. Sigma is equal to rho into mu. But what is rho? Rho in terms of Hall coefficient, rho is equal to 1 by RH. So 1 by RH into mu. So if you find a Hall coefficient, we can able to find conductivity. Sigma is equal to mu divided by RH. Mu divided by RH. So we can find even conductivity also. Right? The formula is sigma is equal to mu divided by RH. Next, let us calculate mobility also. What is mobility? Sigma is equal to, from this, what do you get? Mobility. You can also calculate from this mobility. Mobility. Conductivity you can calculate. You can calculate also mobility. From this cross multiplied, what do you get? Sigma into RH is equal to mu. So therefore, mobility mu is equal to sigma into RH. Sigma into RH. Mobility mu is equal to sigma into, what is RH? RH is VH W divided by VA. So these are all the relations now. These are all the relations here. Okay. Now tell me, using Hall effect, different parameters we can find. Different parameters. We can find whether the specimen is a metal or a semiconductor or an insulator. The first point. These are very important points. The first point. Using Hall effect, we can find whether the specimen is metal or insulator or semiconductor. Right. And we can find whether it is N-type semiconductor or P-type semiconductor. N-type semiconductor or P-type semiconductor. We can find Hall voltage. We can find Hall voltage. We can find magnetic field intensity B. We can find electric field intensity capital E. Right. Also we can find, sixth point, we can find conductivity sigma. Also we can find mobility mu. Right. These are all the points that you need to learn in Hall effect. So all these derivations are very important and all points are very important. Please do remember all these points. They are very important for us. Okay. So this is regarding Hall effect and its formulas. Okay. Next. Let us go for the last topic in the semiconductor physics, which is called continuity equation. Continuity equation is an equation. Hello? Continuity equation is an equation which relates continuity equation is an equation which relates charge carriers with respect to time and distance. Charge carriers with respect to time and distance. An equation contained by concentration of charge carriers and its time period and its distance is nothing but continuity equation. And from this equation, charge carriers can neither be created nor be destroyed. Right? You can see here, I am taking a specimen here with respect to holes. Maximum number of holes are present here. Maximum number of holes are present in the specimen. So what happens is, if a hole is traveling from this point to this point, from this point to this point, it is traveling a distance c. It is traveling with a distance dx. Suppose if this is x distance and it is traveling with the dx distance, it will be reaching with x plus dx distance here. Likewise, a current I is traveling is taking here. After reaching here, you get I plus di. Current density Jp of x, you can get here Jp of x plus dx. Whole concentration P of x at x distance, you get a P of whole concentration P of x plus dx. So therefore, these are all called holes per meter cube we are taking, right? And this is a single area A. Now here a charge, a hole is moving from this point to this point. It may recombine with an electron and therefore it may expire. So therefore, and even if a electron is there here and another electron is there here, it may collide with another. This electron means it's an atom. If it collides with another atom, so therefore it may release or it may give birth to another electrons. For suppose an atom is there surrounded by electrons and this electron collides with another atom here, electron which is present in valence band, it goes outside and become a free electron. And this electron which is starting from here, which is going and hitting this, again it comes outside. Likewise, charge carriers neither be generated nor be destroyed. So if these electrons goes and fill into this hole, what happens? They will recombine. So recombine means what? They will expire. So likewise, charge neither be created nor be destroyed. This is happened only in continuity equation, right? And this equation tells us the relation between concentration of charge, time and distance. Now you can see here concentration of hole, because we are taking hole here, the rate of generation of hole dp by dt is the rate of generation of holes. Dp by dt is equal to, the formula is minus of p, concentration of holes, minus concentration of holes at thermal equilibrium p naught divided by tau p, means this is a carrier lifetime of holes, carrier lifetime of holes tau p, plus diffusion constant of holes d square p by dx square, x is the distance, minus mobility of holes d of p, concentration of p, electric field intensity A divided by dx. So this is the general formula which relates carrier concentration means p, time means tau, and distance d means x. So this equation is called continuity equation. That equation is called continuity equation. With that equation, we can tell that charge neither be created nor be destroyed. Neither be created nor be destroyed. Right? So these are the formulas. So we can have another formula here like generation rate. Generation rate is equal to excess concentration. Very important point. Excess concentration or excess electron generation. Excess electron generation divided by minority carrier lifetime. Divided by minority carrier lifetime. Divided by minority carrier lifetime. So that is equal to, you can write this one as excess electron generation means delta n divided by tau p. Divided by tau p. Minority carrier lifetime means holes, tau p. Okay, so this is another formula. And also you can write a generation rate in terms of holes also, delta p, or it may be written as delta p divided by tau n. Electron hole pairs per centimeter cube, electron hole pairs per centimeter cube per second. These are the units. It may be generation rate, may be delta n divided by tau p or delta p divided by tau n. Tau n. Right? So these are the formulas for continuity equation. Just do remember this continuity equation formulas. So this is about the continuity equation and Hall effect and all this. No? This is the last topic in semiconductor physics. We'll go with some problems for solution today. Let us take the first problem. Please take the first problem. Do this problem. A thin p-type silicon sample is uniformly illuminated with light, which generates excess carriers. The recombination rate is directly proportional to. The recombination rate is directly proportional to. Answer. Answer. Just now I told you. It relates to continuity equation. Is it the minority carrier mobility or minority carrier recombination lifetime or majority carrier concentration or excess minority carrier concentration? Answer. Anyone answer? మెసేజ్ వస్తున్నానా మొబిలిటీ ఆన్సర్స్ పెడుతున్నారు చూడాలి. Yeah, D is the right answer. The excess minority carrier concentration. D is the right answer. See, just now I told you, it depends on minority carrier concentration. No, what I told you, generation rate. See, a thin p-type silicon sample is uniformly illuminated with light. Is uniformly illuminated with light, and which generates excess carriers. The recombination rate is directly. What is recombination rate? Generation rate or recombination rate? Just now I told you. Generation rate or recombination rate is equal to delta n divided by tau p. Right. The minority carrier concentration. So it depends on what? Excess minority carrier. The recombination rate is directly proportional to what? Delta n by tau p, or it is also given by delta p divided by tau n. Isn't it? So what is the answer? What is the answer? Excess minority carrier. Huh? Hello? Is it minority carrier mobility? No. Is it the minority carrier recombination lifetime? No. Is it the majority carrier concentration? Is it the majority charge carriers? What is this formula? See, what is this formula? dP by dt is equal to minus p minus excess electron generation divided by minority carrier lifetime, isn't it? So therefore, excess electron generation divided by minority carrier concentration. So it depends on what value? It depends on minority carrier concentration. So answer is D. Answer is D. Okay. Next. A semiconductor is irradiated with light such that carriers are uniformly generated throughout its volume. The semiconductor is N-type with the donor concentration. If the excess electron concentration in the steady state is delta n, and if tau p is 10 microseconds minority carrier lifetime, then the generation rate due to irradiation is. Take this problem and do the more. Generation rate due to irradiation is. Answer, ma? Answer. Semiconductor is irradiated with light and carriers such that carriers are uniformly generated throughout its valence. The semiconductor is n-type with Nd. Nd is given if the excess electron concentration in the steady state is delta n. Delta n is equal to 10 power 15 and Nd is equal to 10 power 19. All are in centimeters, so no problem. Tau p is given how much? 10 microseconds. Then the generation rate due to irradiation is. So what is the generation rate? Just now I told you the formula. Generation rate is equal to delta n divided by tau p. What is delta n? 10 power 15 divided by tau p is 10 microseconds. 10 into 10 power minus 6. So what is the answer? What is the answer? 10 power 20 electron hole pairs per centimeter cube per second. 10 power 20. Answer is A. Very simple, no? Just for confusion, they have given donor concentration Nd. Right. So delta n divided by tau p, then you get the answer 10 power 20. Right. Next problem. An intrinsic semiconductor at absolute zero temperature. Answer. Answer, anyone? An intrinsic semiconductor at absolute zero temperature.
Option B.
Emma? Intrinsic semiconductor at absolute zero
Behaves
temperature.
like good insulator.
Very good. It behaves like good insulator is the right answer. Behaves like good insulator. Because intrinsic semiconductor, what happens at absolute zero temperature? T is equal to 0 degree. Even if your temperature also increases at very high temperatures, what happens? Intrinsic semiconductor, light current flows, small minute current flows at very high temperatures. But there is no temperature, means at absolute zero means T is equal to 0 degree Kelvin. T is equal to 0 degree Kelvin, what happens? It behaves no current flows, so therefore it behaves like an insulator. It behaves like insulator. So it behaves like good insulator.